So in this tutorial we are going to explore the new water features in Unreal Engine 4.26. We are going to start by creating an ocean, then we are going to make some rivers and we are going to make some lakes. So you will learn how to make oceans, rivers and lakes in this tutorial. At the end, I'm also going to show you a bonus tip on how you can make your very own custom floatable objects in UE4. So we're going to start by creating a new level. So file, new level, and we are going to choose day and night cycle. So after creating the level, you need to save that level. And by default, we'll get something that looks like this. We are going to delete the volumetric clouds. So we are going to delete all the unnecessary things that are here. So delete the floor, delete the player start, delete this shiny metal ball. And now we are going to go under the settings, under the plugins, and we need to turn on two plugins. The first plugin is the landmass plugin. So this plugin essentially allows you to use splines on your landscapes to make all kinds of cool mountains and stuff. So turn this on because the water system in Unreal Engine uses this plugin, and we are going to turn on the water plugin as well. And this will give you all the tools to make water bodies. So just turn this on. Okay, after turning that on, we need to create a landscape. So for that, we are going to go under the landscape. Here you can leave all the settings to the default options, but we need to enable the edit layers. And this will allow you to use all those water tools. So after you turn that on, you can create your own landscape. So now we have a plain basic landscape here, and we can start to create our water. So in the left hand side, search for water, and as you can see, there are a lot of options here. So you can create oceans, lakes, rivers. So we are going to start by creating an ocean. So just click on the ocean and just drag it in your scene, and we'll place our ocean here, and we can already start to see the ocean. In this case, I'm going to scale the spline down. So just select the water body ocean and scale it down. Now you will notice that as I'm moving the ocean on the z-axis, we can see a hard edge, and you can manually line this up. Like if you choose to, you can actually line this up and make that seam go away. So the solution to that is select the water body ocean, and under the details panel, under the fall off settings, we need to change the fall off. So just change the fall off to width. And as you can see, that goes away, and you get a smooth transition from the water to the landscape. So the transition is quite smooth. You can press Ctrl L and you can move your mouse to position the sun. So just positioning the sun here. So now we have created our ocean. So we'll create some rivers as well. So just drag the river in the scene. And as you can see, the river is also made up of splines. I'm going to select the spline point. Press your Alt key and just extrude it. Okay, so that looks good. We have a river, and you'll notice that the river and the ocean really blends quite well. Like you cannot see a seam. So the default water material is quite good. Now we can add one more river, and this river will be a small river, and this river is going to branch off from our main river. So under the details panel, just rotating it. So we are done creating the rivers, we are done creating the ocean. So we are going to create the lake. So bring a lake in your scene. And the lake is also made up of 3 spline points. So you can move them as you see fit, and you can maybe scale it down. Okay, so we have created all of that. So I'm going to select the ocean asset, and under the wave source, by default Unreal Engine has a new wave profile, and that is the Gerstner wave. So either you can change these settings here directly, or you can create a wave asset. So under the wave source, by default it is set to Gerstner water waves. We can also select a water waves asset reference. So we can create a new asset here. So right click under the water, create a water waves asset. And now we can reference this asset there. And you see the same settings here. So either you can directly change the settings in the details, or you could create a wave profile and then you could refer it there. You can essentially create different wave profiles for different water bodies, and this is really quite powerful. So we have some basic settings here: the wavelength, the amplitude, the direction, and the steepness. So you can go ahead and play with these settings, but for now I'm going to close that. Under the rendering we have 2 options. So we have the water material, and that is using the default water material, and we also have a post-processing volume material. So as you can see, if we go underwater, the underwater thing is just using the post-processing effects. So it is not like a volume, physical volume. It is not a physical water simulation. So this is essentially a different post-processing effects stack for underwater. So it is switching and blending between our post-processing and the underwater post-processing asset. So you could essentially change all these post-processing settings. Okay, so now let's test it out. For the bonus part, we are going to make a custom mesh that floats on water. So for that, we are going to go under the options, and we are going to turn on show engine content and show plugin content. And you'll notice a couple of folders will appear. You can search for water, and in the water content folder, you will see a new asset. Just click and drag it in the scene. Just move it up, and if you simulate this, as you can see, the cube falls and it floats on water. Okay, so now let's go in the blueprint and see how this works. So double click to open the blueprint, and in the blueprint we have a static mesh. This is just a default editor cube, and we have a new component here, and this component gives you the ability to float on water. So this is sort of experimental, as I told you. So how this works is, you set up some anchor points, and the relative position of those points will be used while it's calculating all of that floating stuff. I experimented with this a bit. It seemed to work for some scenarios and it didn't work for some meshes. So we are going to use a different technique, and again this technique has some flaws, but in regular cases it completely works. So what we are going to do is, we are going to delete that and right click duplicate, and we are going to call this something like my floatable. So this is our floatable object, and just to organize things, we are going to move this object in the content folder. So just move that there. And double click to open the blueprint, and we can't change the mesh here directly. So if you change the static mesh here, it will not work. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to apply a transparent material to this cube. So I already created this material beforehand. And as you can see, a cube goes completely invisible. And this is how the material works. So I just added a scalar parameter with the default value as 0 that connects into the opacity. So basically this has 0 opacity, so it is transparent, and the shader type is translucent. And that's how easy it is to make a transparent material. So after adding the transparent material, you can add a static mesh below the cube. So this is a child mesh, and this mesh is going to be used for our custom mesh. I have an inflatable duck model, so I'm going to change it to that. Now select the duck model, and in the physics section, disable simulate physics. So this should not be a physics object. You also need to disable gravity, and this object will have no collisions. In the collision preset, select no collision. So now bring this object in our scene and rotate this object as you like. And if you simulate this, as you can see, the duck floats. So yeah, that's it guys. I hope you like the video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And if you want to download this project file, you can do so on my Patreon. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.